Hello, good evening. Welcome. Om Shanti.
Good evening, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Bhai.
Om Santi.
Everyone is doing well. So today, great. So today the topic that we chose, it says, "Let the world spin. You say you stay still. Let the world spin. You stay still." We all realize that there is this outer world and there is this inner world, and we know that there is a lot of spinning that happens in the outer world, and spinning really means that things, situations that are often unpredictable, that keep on changing. Sometimes it could even be our own set of sanskars that keep on spinning, right? But it says you stay still. So it's pretty much like the power of stillness. The inspiration behind this topic, on Sunday, the class that we were revising, the practice of putting a point, applying a point. It's like that point is the point of stillness within. So whatever is happening externally, to create a state of mind where it's easy to detach. Um, it's not about not getting involved externally. We're still involved externally, but to easily detach the self from the situation and stay inside and focused on the point of stillness. That's pretty much the power of stillness. We can be still. So if we were to look at stillness, how do we define stillness? Any thoughts? What is stillness?
So, from what I've learned so far, stillness basically be aware but don't react. So, essentially, keeping your mind in it doesn't mean that you're not taking an action, but it's not a compulsive emotional action. So, still essentially means that you're not losing you're not behaving out of emotional stimulation by taking actions. So basically identify process, and then take thoughtful action. So I don't see still means you're not just doing nothing, you're just it depends on the scenario. Sometimes you observe, don't do anything, but sometimes you got to do it, but not in emotional way.
Right. So our actions are not coming from a space of emotional reaction, but from a space of, silence, stability, and inner calm, right? Good. Unwavering peace inside. Good, right? Right. If we look at nature, there is a particular thing that happens in nature that actually reminds us of this topic, right? Any guesses? We recently had one, I think.
And despite of like different season changes or any weather turbulence, the nature is like again it comes back to that stillness and not observing absorbing anything which is going wrong, just being still and calm inside.
Good, right? Nice, right? So if you look at like a hurricane, the hurricane it's all, if you see, The winds, move with a very fast speed, and they're often destructive. But what is still in this hurricane is uh, we call it uh, the
Epicenter.
yeah,
Eye of the storm.
yeah, the eye of the storm. So welcome, Om Shanti. Please watch your step. Yeah. It says life is always lived in the eye of the storm. So things keep on changing, events keep on happening. It's like many things are unpredictable, but just like here, the eye of the storm is very still. And so that's what spiritual effort really is, to bring our focus back from all the external, whatever is changing, to the inner stillness, the stillness of who I really am, right? And that's where, and if we see like different events or different storms, actually then help us, they allow us to learn ways in which we can get back to the center. And that's where I feel like the journey of life, especially when, there are stormy situations, it's all for us to learn, something new about ourselves, so that, we grow, stronger through storms. And so the more we feel we are, you know, moving towards the eye of the storm, the more we experience that journey inwards. Mhm. It says stillness is a superpower. Mhm. Stillness is where clarity, peace, and growth occurs. Creating space to just be can feel like the hardest thing, but it's also the most transformative. Mhm. So what I need to do is, there's nothing much, just to be still, just to be still. And that is a superpower. And I was just realizing this the other day, like, when someone goes for a surgery and the doctor has to operate on them, um, they make sure that they're giving anesthesia and all, so that the body doesn't move and the body is still. And only when the body is still, they can actually operate on the body. If there is, motion, then you can't actually. Right? So in the same way, only when I am still inside, that's where, in meditation, then God can do his surgery on me. Uh, it's like, so I just need to be still, so that I don't think about, anything that is happening around. And that's when I can experience the presence of the divine, right? And that's where, this transformation happens. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Mhm. In the same way, if we see like, if we have to pour tea in a cup, if the cup is shaking, then we can't actually pour it properly. And when the cup is still, so in the same way, when my mind is still, I can then absorb the spiritual wisdom and knowledge. If the mind is, shaking, then I cannot. Mhm. So there is a lot of power in stillness. Mhm. Mhm. It says stillness isn't the absence of effort, it's the presence of attention. Mhm. I'm not moving away from effort. It's not like I'm just not doing, like I'm just being lazy. But it's the presence of attention. So I choose to pay my attention to the truth, to the reality of who I am, right? And that's about it. And then from that space, I can easily experience like inner alignment. So stillness is not about laziness, it's about aligning myself with the truth, with the flow of life. And so when I'm aligned properly, it is then that, there's not much effort, but everything just flows naturally. So it says, stillness isn't laziness, it's strategy. Great decisions come from calm, centered minds. And you can't get there if you are always moving. Stop, reflect, realign, then act with purpose. Right? And then that's what happens, right? If the mind is not centered, right? And if I made a decision, it will not always be, the right decision. And so it's so important to just stop, reflect, realign, like again, moving towards the center, the eye of the storm, right? So that I'm not influenced by, whatever is happening externally, but then I'm able to be and hold inside. So it's a strategy. Right? So in every aspect of our life, we can experience this stillness. So there is a little clip. It's a little story. We'll watch it, and then we'll move forward.
Once upon a time, in a grand art gallery, a thrilling painting contest was announced with an astonishing prize of $10 million. Artists from all corners of the globe sent in their masterpieces, all centered around the theme of peace. As the contest progressed, the gallery received a tidal wave of breathtaking artworks, each one a masterpiece in its own right. The judges had their work cut out for them, meticulously shortlisting 100 paintings that exuded an aura of serenity and tranquility. The selected paintings were exhibited in an exhibition attended by thousands of artists, art enthusiasts, and the ever-curious media. With hearts pounding, the chosen artists and art enthusiasts eagerly awaited the grand exhibition that would decide the ultimate winner. The exhibited paintings were a true feast for the eyes. There was a serene river flowing through majestic mountains, a captivating full moon reflecting in a still lake, in a tranquil garden, under a calming sky with fluffy clouds. Each artwork was a glimpse of paradise. The exhibition day arrived, and the gallery transformed into an enchanting wonderland of colors and emotions. Thousands of visitors thronged the halls, marveling at the collection of emotions depicted on the canvases. The media jostled for prime spots, hungry for the captivating story that would soon unfold. Finally, the moment arrived when the winner was to be revealed. The crowd eagerly gathered, and the winning painting remained hidden behind a curtain. With a flourish of drama, the curtain gracefully fell, revealing the enigmatic masterpiece. Gasps and whispers of awe swept through the audience like a gentle breeze. The painting portrayed a stormy evening where fierce storms clashed and roared across the canvas. Amidst the chaos, a humble hut stood tall, and through its window peered a person with a radiant aura of peace and strength. Confusion and curiosity gripped the gathering, and the media clamored for answers. Some questioned the choice, arguing that the winning painting was nothing like the serene landscapes displayed alongside it. However, the art gallery manager explained their choice. He asked everyone to observe the painting closely, focusing on the man's face. Despite the raging storm outside, the man in the painting displayed a serene expression, showing no sign of fear or distress. While other paintings portrayed external scenes of peace, this painting depicted inner peace. The message conveyed was that true peace comes from within, and no matter how chaotic the external circumstances may be, one can find tranquility and strength within themselves. In today's world, we are often surrounded by turmoil and uncertainty. Yet this painting serves as a powerful reminder that true happiness and peace come from within. No matter how chaotic the world is, there are always wildflowers of serenity that can bloom within us. In our modern lives, where external challenges and disturbances are abundant, this painting teaches us to cultivate inner peace. Just like the man in the painting, we can choose to face the storms of life with a composed spirit. It reminds us that external circumstances need not dictate our internal state of mind. By nurturing a sense of calmness and confidence within ourselves, we can weather any storm and find solace amidst the chaos.
Simple story, but just message really is that sometimes we look for peace and stillness in the world outside. It's actually the nature of the being, the soul. Right? So it's not about stillness that we find outside, but amidst the uncertainty and the chaos outside, the ability to hold that stillness and peace with it. And again, it's a natural nature of the being. So this doesn't need a lot of effort. It just needs attention. Just attention. So it says, peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. So I'm surrounded by everything that is moving, but still hold that peace with it. Right. There's another quote. It says, to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. The mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Right? It's like stillness is coming into alignment with the universe. Right? And so then I don't need to focus too much on external doing, right, or external thoughts. But just when I am still within, then it's like as if there is a beautiful connection with the life, and it feels as if everything is just seamlessly flowing around me. And so then we'll be able to then do much more in spending less thoughts. Generally what happens is when the mind is busy, then we spend a lot of thoughts but get a little bit done. But when the mind is still, Even with less thoughts, we can actually get a lot done because there is less waste, there is less busyness, right? It says, be still. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. So suddenly it's like there's a lot of clarity that comes with stillness. It's just like the reflection in a lake of the trees and the sun and everything. When the lake is turbulent, we can't see it clearly. But when the lake is still, then there is, we can see it clearly. In the same way, like sometimes we are not able to make sense of whatever is going on in our life, but the moment we make the mind still, then everything we are able to see it with clarity. Right. Right. Mhm. That's why they say stillness is a superpower. Um, there is a nice word in the philosophy of Taoism. It's called Wu Wei, Wu Wei, which means the art of effortless effort. It's a very interesting philosophy, and what it says is the more we think of doing, the more we are actually complicating things. But the more we are just ourselves naturally, everything gets done. So it's called the art of effortless action. Effortless action. So we'll just watch a little clip that describes what that effortless action really means.
Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action, holds profound significance. At the core of this philosophy is the idea of embracing inactivity and allowing things to unfold naturally, in harmony with the flow of the universe. Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism, emphasized the importance of simplicity, humility, and non-action in achieving true wisdom and inner peace. In today's fast-paced world, where busyness is glorified, the practice of Wu Wei offers a refreshing perspective on finding balance and serenity amidst chaos. Let's embark on a peaceful and harmonious exploration of this timeless wisdom. At its essence, Wu Wei in Taoism refers to the art of effortless action and non-interference. It involves aligning oneself with the natural flow of the universe, allowing events to unfold organically without force or resistance. By practicing Wu Wei, individuals can cultivate a more balanced and harmonious existence, free from unnecessary stress and struggle. In modern contexts, embracing Wu Wei can manifest in various ways, such as practicing mindfulness to stay present in the moment, trusting one's intuition to make decisions, and letting go of the need to control every outcome. Through Wu Wei, we can find peace and fulfillment in the midst of life's complexities. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, embracing inactivity and stillness can offer a myriad of benefits. By allowing ourselves moments of quietude, we create space for increased clarity and focus, enabling us to make better decisions and navigate challenges with ease. Stillness plays a crucial role in reducing stress levels and promoting overall well-being, allowing our minds and bodies to rest and recharge. Moreover, embracing inactivity can enhance productivity and creativity by fostering a deeper connection with our inner selves and tapping into our innate wisdom. Embracing stillness is not a sign of laziness, but a pathway to inner strength and resilience. Incorporating the Taoist principle of Wu Wei into our daily lives can bring about a sense of peace and balance amidst the chaos. To cultivate Wu Wei, it's essential to find moments of stillness and inactivity within our daily routines. This can be achieved through practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking a few minutes to pause and reflect. Letting go of the need for constant action and busyness is key to embracing Wu Wei. By allowing things to unfold naturally and trusting in the process, we can experience a greater sense of flow and harmony. I encourage you to experiment with Wu Wei in different aspects of your life and observe the transformative power of effortless action. Embracing the Taoist principle of Wu Wei can pave the way for a more harmonious and balanced life. By embracing inactivity and effortless action, we create space for inner peace to flourish, which in turn radiates outward, fostering external harmony. Wu Wei encourages us to let go of the need for control and instead trust in the natural order of things, leading to a deeper sense of connection with the world around us. I invite you to reflect on how you can integrate Wu Wei principles into your own life, allowing for a more serene and fulfilling existence. In conclusion, embracing the principles of Wu Wei offers a pathway to a more balanced and harmonious life. By incorporating inactivity and effortless action into our daily routines, we can cultivate inner peace, clarity, and connection with the world around us. In today's fast-paced world, the practice of Wu Wei provides a much-needed antidote to stress and overwhelm, allowing us to navigate life with grace and ease. I encourage you to apply the wisdom of Wu Wei in your own life and experience the transformative power of embracing stillness and flow. Subscribe, like,
Really says the practice of taking time to really do nothing. I think that's what in meditation we're just taking our time out to, in a way, switch off from everything. So it's like when I switch off from the external story, it is then that I can just switch on myself. And then when I've switched on myself and I've recharged myself, then come back. And then there is a energy of trust around whatever is happening, rather than trying to do something, resisting the flow of life. We try to kind of move with the flow of life, with the flow of life. And so there is the practice that we can really incorporate. It's like that little time that the self needs in the day. So it says, note to self, it says, it is my right to rest, to be in stillness.
It's too far away.
Too far away? Acha, acha.
Do you want me to go closer so I can read from that side?
Would that be possible? Yeah, thank you. Sure. You can sit on the chair. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Acha.
I might need a little, I will be slow in getting out.
No,
but
please
that
take your
should be
time.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to sit sometimes on the floor.
Sure. Mhm. Mhm. Thank you. It is my right to rest, to be in stillness, to create the space to witness my heart speak. I do not need to earn rest, nor to feel guilty about slowing down. I allow myself the grace and compassion to embrace the rest my body, mind, and soul deserve. So, someone said, when you're feeling restless, what do? Just rest. Rest in the mind. And that's what really meditation and soul consciousness is. It's like I'm resting in the mind. Resting means inactivity, not thinking about anything, just resting, just being myself in the switched off mode. Right? Mhm. And that's when, I can connect with the true self and my true purpose. Because sometimes I may just, you know, deal with life on a superficial level when the mind is really not centered, grounded. And when I've taken time out for myself and I really feel that, maybe one day or half a day in a week, it really helps to, because I know we have all busy lives and things. But even half a day of just being, switching off everything else, switching off external, chatter, we can still be involved in using external, devices, but still not, engaging the mind in that and just taking time for the self. And to really, ask the self the right questions. Am I content? What is it that the soul needs? Am I providing enough for the soul? And then sometimes just to experience that, contentment, that, I'm content with my life. It's like, taking time out to make peace with my life, with everything what has happened, whatever is happening. Because often the mind goes in a critical kind of state where we're constantly, judging or, comparing or, trying to achieve something. And all of that somewhere has a root in desires. It's like, the mind, when the mind is, wanting to chase after something, it often then, goes into that mode. And then just taking time out to shut down, just, reflect, restore, not as a ritual, but out of love, out of love, and interest. And and that's where the soul really replenishes, regains its lost, power. Right? Mhm. Mm. Says, remind yourself, rest isn't laziness, not responding isn't neglect, and saying no isn't selfish. Do what you have to do to establish your peace. Mhm. If you do not pick a day to relax, then your body will pick it for you. It's important to, of course, for the body, but also for the mind. Just taking some time out to rest. Right? Then it says, it's just a little cartoon. It says, just how do you do it? It says, do what? It says, become so effortless. Then this little bear says, I don't do much of anything. But then this cat says, but all those things of yours get done. So he says, they just sort of happen. Mhm. Right? So it's like when in my mind I have made peace with everything and everyone, then life cannot go against me. Mhm. Right? Because then I don't need to work on, things to make me content inside. Mhm. When I've made peace inside myself, then everything just automatically falls into place. Right? And that's what the effortless action, this principle of Wu Wei actually is telling us. Right? Right? Because one of the ways, which I also feel sometimes, the mind gets into is, we call it the perfectionist trap. Because we want to do everything perfectly. So we have overthought about things even before doing them. Right? And that's where it's the trap, means the mind gets trapped into it. Mhm. And then it sometimes feels difficult to come out of it. And when I realized that, life is not perfect, but it is imperfectly perfect. Means there is perfection in imperfections. And when I connect to that, that part of the life in that way, and that's what, we are taught in spirituality, that, every scene of life is beneficial. There is some benefit in everything. Every storm is a gift. So when I actually see that gift, right, and not see it as a storm, right, and then the mind can actually be at peace, then I don't need to process much. Right? There is a nice quote that I heard. It says, "There's no need to be perfect to inspire others. Let others get inspired by how you deal with your imperfections." Because sometimes we may feel that, if I'm not perfect, then I'm of no use to the world, but not actually. We often get more inspired by someone who is, dealing with their imperfections, because that's how we also learn, right? And so being imperfect, or a task being imperfect, is okay. I don't need to strive for that, 100% accuracy in everything. Mhm. But the more I feel I am within, because that's what creates added stress and tension and, all that straw. Mhm. But when I'm, very, uh, happy and content within, mm, and so then my aim is not to achieve something much, but it's about enjoying the work that I'm doing, enjoying the day.
But there are times, see, the thing is, like, people like me
Mm,
who are at the end of their life, like, I mean, in the sense, like, I don't have a job, I don't have to, and I don't have any responsibilities of life like my daughter has or anyone else do with their children, with their life, with their work and everything. I don't have anything, especially when I'm here in US. When I'm in India, it's a different story.
right.
Here, because no, I don't have friends. I don't have any play. Now I've started going back to the daycare center where I volunteer with children, which is a routine thing I would like to incorporate so that because I have so much energy and I want to do things. I want to be productive because all my life that's all I have done. I've taken care of other people. I did jobs and all, and now I don't. Need those, and I can't because I have to go back to India, and no, I won't have a job. The thing is, because I have so much time, um, I feel like I'm not using it properly because I cannot sit in front of God and meditate the whole day.
Right.
I can do that. And there are times when I don't feel like doing that.
Right.
And I feel guilty.
True.
So that is my problem. My problem is I have too much time.
Too much time.
And I don't know
Right.
what to do because I really am very ambitious in that sense that I don't want to waste a minute. I want to do something really good, So that's why, like just cooking, nobody eats my food. I eat my own food. So I share it with people who are ready. And then that's how much I can do that. And like nothing else, like the physical work I do. I read a lot, I write, I do meditation, I do japa, and I have a Gopal and I feed them. But that I still have a lot of time when I feel like I can.
You are so fortunate.
Much.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel guilty
Gee.
because sometimes I lose my interest in being still, as you were saying. My mind becomes very restless. I cannot sit still, and it doesn't stay for long. It goes away, and I know I will still have good days. But when I go through that, it's a very big suffering, and I just ask like why I have to suffer like that. I don't have anything external that is hurting me. And you tell me how to, because when I go through that, it's very painful, but it goes away after a while. I get back the high. It's the lows, and I can't meditate at that time. So what do you think? How should I deal with those periods where I'm so low?
Right.
And
Definitely.
restless?
Right. Yeah. Definitely. And that's where it's like, balance that, the more we are still inside, the more actually, it's like a balance of, yoga that is, inside, and then karma outside. And so in whatever we are doing, and like you said, volunteering, helping out, all that definitely is a part of it. It's not about just sitting still, but also about going.
But I cannot sit still the whole day. I
Yeah.
mean, like I have the whole day. I wake up and I think, what am I going to do today? I mean, like I know I can read, but how much can I
Yeah.
read in it? And
Right.
after a while, I lose interest.
Yeah.
Because I read the same spiritual kind of thing. I listen to the podcast which tells us like how to overcome this, that, and like
Correct.
all these things in YouTube and
Right.
everywhere. But after a while, I don't feel like. But I do not have interest in anything else. Though. All I I enjoy is this,
Right.
nothing else. So I don't see movies. I don't go out with people and have
Right.
fun. Like chit chat and socialize. I have lost interest in those. So.
Right.
I have very limited
Yeah.
things that I can do. That's why I'm saying that.
Right.
What do you think I should be doing while I'm feeling so restless? Like,
Right.
how can I bring myself up from
Yeah.
that low?
Yeah. Sure, we'll talk about it. Yes. And that's where, when we look at, meditation and the way we can, disconnect from the story and connect with the source, with the divine. And that's where the more, we have time to really disconnect from the drama and connect to the divine. And so let's look at that. What are some of the easy ways to do that, right?
Yeah, because I feel that I lose the connection with God, and that is more painful than anything else. Because I feel that that faith is not there.
Yeah.
That okay, God is here and He's helping me. He will help me. He is making me go through this. I know that. Like it's God's will. But how at that moment nothing works in my head. So I need some strategies. I need some techniques so that it will be easy for me to go through it. Because I know I have to face that. I have to go through it.
Sure. So if you look at, this image over here, and if we see, the way God's mind works and the way our minds work, and what is it that God knows that if we know, we will be able to experience what God experiences, right? So we say in relation to the physical world, so there is one physical world that is the entire story, the drama, and then one is the world of the divine God, where there is stillness, silence, and love in a very natural way. So in relation to the physical world, God, He owns nothing. Owns nothing. There's nothing that He owns in the physical world. He needs nothing, right? There's nothing that the divine needs from this physical dimension. He loses nothing. There's nothing that He loses. He always has everything. He misses nothing. He doesn't miss anything. He lacks nothing. He doesn't lack anything. He identifies with nothing. He knows He is beyond. He knows that He has entitlement to nothing. He doesn't, look for any entitlements in the story. He feels He deserves nothing. So it's like this, His connection with nothingness, right? He takes credit for nothing. He expects nothing. So it's just, connecting with that aspect, the way God doesn't need or expect anything from the story. And because of this, He remains free from the web, the trap of the physical world.
You are saying that I am trapped in a physical world which is inside me.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So and the way to get out of it is to be like God. That
to kind of
nothing.
Take time to connect to God more and more. Right.
I'll try to think about that. This because the inner world, I think it has nothing to do with the physical world, but that is also a physical world that is inside me also, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. Yes.
Sorry, you have a routine that you have to follow.
Sure. No, great. Yeah. So it's like the more we are still within, we are detached from the drama, and then we can actually connect with the source of stillness, that is the divine. Right? There are other some, right? It says when you look at zero, you see nothing. When you look through a zero, you see everything.
Yes.
It's like when I look at the point, means there is nothing. But when I look through the zero, through the point, means when I look from God's perspective, then I see everything, the larger. There are some other points that we can kind of reflect on in order to again center ourselves into stillness. It says, what's my first thought? So when I see or interact with someone or something, what is my first thought? Is it on a person who did it, who cooked it? Suppose I'm eating something. Is my first thought who cooked it? If I see something, who designed it? Or my attention is on the one, the real one, the divine, who is getting it done. Right? Because the moment I'm thinking about something or someone outside, I'm actually going into the storm again. And another aspect, it says soul's presence is making the body function. So it's like the soul is still, but the power of the soul is making this entire body function. And so there is so much power in stillness. Right? I am not doing, just facilitating. So I am not doing, I am not the doer, I am the facilitator. It says, when you are restless, just rest. Right? So that, when I'm resting, then the mind can be still. Always look for signals from the divine. Right? So, not to be overactive in the planning, but always to take time to see what is the divine signaling me. It is happening as it happened earlier. Flow state means I don't judge whatever is happening around me, but I know whatever the way it happened earlier, it is happening in the same way. What is God doing? So God is also detached. God is not doing anything. God is just being himself. And in his, power, then everything gets done automatically. It says, the brain and the body restores in rest. And so again, when I rest the mind, make it still, then I restore the self. Another point, it says, wait and see. So when I'm, busy with things, I have to make a lot of decisions. So it's important to wait and see what is happening rather than just making a quick decision. So all of these are points that, allow us to stay grounded in the stillness whilst dealing with the external world. Uh, it says when to think, when not to think, how much to think, do more with less thoughts. Right? Because sometimes we think, but it's also important to realize how much am I thinking. And so to achieve more, but with less thoughts. Switch off modes, like I've switched off myself from the story, just relaxed, be myself. So stillness is not problem solving, not planning, not prayer. So in stillness, I'm just disconnected. It's not I'm problem solving an emotion or I'm planning something or, it's a prayer, but I'm just detached from busyness. Right? And says doctor can perform surgery only when the patient is still. So when I'm still, it's like I'm, connected with the source, with the divine, right? And then that stillness just allows me to flow with the life. Right? So we'll end with a little clip, and it's about how to learn to dance in the rain of life. Right? And that's where it talks about another very practical way for us to be still and grounded, and it's the practice of gratitude. We'll just watch it, and yeah.
where I write down the things that feel like sharing with others and that touches me.
Yeah, of course. I'll
Yeah,
share
this
the
is
video.
this is a good thing. I mean, like when it comes, I have to enjoy it. Like at least I am here and I am in the right frame of mind to experience that I'm going through a painful moment. Maybe it is necessary for my evolution, who knows, you know. But when I go through that, I just get so upset and mad with God, saying that this is your way of pushing me away from you. And it's my pain is because I cannot meditate on you, because I cannot be closer to you. That's why I feel in by doing this, you are pushing me away from you. And that is where I get mad and frustrated and angry and feel very restless. But it doesn't stay like what it says, that it comes and goes. And I know that it is not going to be there. And then there will be time when I feel connected with God. And I know that will not be there either. That will also go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
but thank you. Thank you for sharing.
So
and
can I have a piece
Yes.
of paper?
yes.
And this I really like
Sure.
to write it down. I'm
Sure.
sorry,
No.
I'm crazy like
No,
this.
thank you.
I'm a really
Thank
crazy
you,
person.
Lakshmiji. And thank you, everyone. And Om Shanti.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There were other people there too.
Yeah. So
Many
this,
people were there. They all heard me, right?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
I
it's
would
good.
not
It's
have
good.
thought about
No,
that.
it's good.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. So, Om Shanti. Thank you for joining. Anyone would like to share any thoughts? Please feel free to. Sure. So, thank you and have a nice evening. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you.